All right, we back, part 2, episode 7, articism.
Yep.
So you're asking me what type of compressor I would use on the vocal track?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it all depends on the vocal. So let's say if it's like a warm, deep, raspy type of vocal, I would use a compressor that gives it a cleaner sound. So like a electro type of compressor or a optical type of compressor. And when I say electro-optical, you know, they got digital plugins that emulate that type of sound. So, you know, for warm, raspy, deep type of voice, use like an opto or the other one I just said, what did I say, optical or what else? Electro.
Yeah, electro, exactly.
Yeah. So use one of those. But if you got like a more high to mids type of vocal, you want to use something like RVox, okay? And I think it's Renaissance.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
That one's real strong, so you might not want to use that too much. You know, barely compress it with that if you're going to use that, right? And I usually use Waves plugins, so you know, RVox, Renaissance. I used to use HComp, but I really don't use HComp anymore. But that doesn't mean anyone should stop using HComp.
Yeah.
I just don't prefer it anymore. And I've used the Pro Tools compressors here and there, just to add a different color sometimes. But I don't use them too much. But you know, Waves plugins are the go-to for me from a long time ago. And now I also use UAD2 plugins.
Yeah.
I say for that vocal, if I use UAD2 plugin, definitely use the Teletronics compressors.
Oh yeah.
You know
those
what I'm saying?
Yeah, aren't those 1176, like the modeled after 1176?
Yeah. And then I've used the API 2500 compressor, like the Waves plugin,
Yeah.
on vocals sometimes, and
mean
it
by
sounds pretty good.
All right, for sure.
Yeah. So, but it's a compressor, bro. Like you could throw 5 different compressors on your track, right? Bypass them all, and then just unbypass one. Listen to what it sounds like. Bypass that one. Turn the next one on, and I bet you'll see you'll hear a difference, and then you'll have a better
Understanding
of okay, I want to use this one. This one sounds good with the beat with this vocal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so what that does is not only does it train your brain about the different plugins and their functions, but it also trains your ears as in, oh yeah, that's right, this compressor sounds like this when I put it on there. So that, you know, you're really teaching yourself like that. And, you know, I'm all about pushing a person to teach themselves first. I'm always into giving more knowledge to people, but I want you guys to go apply that tactic of trial and error, because that's how I learn and that's how I remember too.
For sure.
You know, when you make mistakes, that's how you learn the best. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get back to you. So yeah, just want to show everybody we in LA like always. Nice and sunny, palm trees, no clouds.
It's starting to get hot too, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely
Shit crazy.
Yeah, it's starting to get hot. And my apologies, but I forgot to ask you where you're from, bro.
I am from the Valley, 818 representative, man. I'm
Okay.
from, San Fernando Valley, like Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks area. I started out like in LA, but we moved to Sherman Oaks, and then moved to this other house. But like moved a bunch, but like now I'm at this house. That's like Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks area.
Cool.
Yeah. And half French, so like I have family and friends who go there all the time.
Okay.
Seen them.
And how old are you once again?
18 years old.
18, my man.
18 years old, man.
And you said you're half French. Have you've been to France, I take it?
Yeah. I went to school in France too, like since 7th grade. I spent a semester there, you know.
So
French shawties and everything.
Yeah, so you were there for what, around 6 months?
Yeah,
or something?
exactly. Just 6 months. Like I did a little less, like 5 months. I did a semester there, like my first semester, because I was going to a French school. Like I still like when I graduated from a French school.
Yeah.
'Cause they wanted me to keep French in my brain, and so I was like in 7th grade. I was like, yo, what? Like I got family out there. Why don't I just kick it over there? And I did, and that shit was lit. That shit was crazy.
So how much were you into music at that point, like trying to discover new music?
Yo, that was fun. Like I remember, like that was a really great period in my life musically, because I was also exposed to French rap.
Yeah.
So I was able to see like how, like I understood the birth of it, and I saw how it transitioned all over the world.
Yeah.
Shit's lit. Like, and also the students in my class, they were like, I was listening to like Mac Miller and Odd Future during that time, and they were fucking with it, but like they were like there's this one kid, and he was like really in his like Schoolboy Q. Yeah. And I thought that was the funniest shit, that like, I don't know, like all the way out in France, some little 7th graders like bumping Schoolboy Q every day. Like that shit's hard. So, like shouts out TDE, shouts out the whole squad, like all of them. But
that's the power of music, ain't it?
Oh yeah, seriously, man. Like they really fuck a rap out there. They're like, and like now like
I researched that market, but yeah, go ahead.
Seriously, no, they're hard. They get down in different types of rap. It's not all it's not all like trap shit. Like, it's more like they got their own like boom bap styles, you know. And like I was definitely listening. Like I started listening to that like around that area, like around that time, and that shit carried on. Like I kept on listening to it.
Yeah, man. I've noticed some French collectives, like music collectives, on Facebook, and I used to watch their like live feed sometimes, and it was like a DJ room, like in a studio, right?
Yeah,
so there's a DJ, scratching 2 records, and there's a regular handheld dynamic microphone, and there's other artists in there, and they had to have a straight freestyle session for like about an hour, right?
Just cypher.
And it was real cool, as in, artists would leave, and then other artists would come into that room, and they would get on the mic. And it just reminded me so much of the early beginnings of hip hop in America.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like ciphers, like real ciphers. Not on TV, I'm talking about street ciphers.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? People in a club, they outside the club and they doing a cipher, you know what I'm saying? Like
School
that.
benches, you know what I'm saying? At lunchtime, all that. For sure, yeah. And also the energy is different too with those ciphers, because like it's like kind of competitive in a way. Like it was like, I felt like rap was more competitive back then. And like, it's not a good or bad thing. It was just lit. Like it was just what it was, you know. And it definitely added a different type of energy to when somebody was about to hop on a mic. You know, now if like anybody can just hop on a mic, they feel like, and just do it. But like back then, like you felt like you need to come with some heat. You know, like
So there was a standard of material that should be presented by.
Seriously, because you didn't want to humiliate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like now you won't humiliate yourself because the standard is so different.
So, what do you think the standard is right now that's different?
Like, everything's changed. So, like, more than the standard, it's, like, just, like, life and all has changed. So, like, since, like, the late 80s, early 90s, I mean, people have way more access to, like, to make music, create.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't take as much of a drive, necessarily, from the jump. You can, and, like, it's very easy to get. It's easier than you think. It's not easy. It's easier than you think to come out with like a dope song, like in the first, like your first week or whatever. And like, but a lot of people do that, and I don't know, they don't like, they're just trying to follow a trend. They're just making music to be like, look at the song I dropped, like they're just trying to do it for clout. They do anything for clout. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I've been wondering about this word clout for the last month or so, because I've been hearing it a lot more around me, right? I already got my opinion on it and the definition I have of clout, but what's your definition of clout, bro?
My definition.
Your definition, not what you think other people think of what clout is. What's your definition of clout?
Yeah. I don't know if I should I don't know how I should talk about it, because I guess clout, my definition of clout, of the word clout, when I use clout, I don't really use it in a positive way most of the time. but like I definitely have used it in positive ways before. I think it's clout is recognition, and like being like noticed, because that's all it takes at this point nowadays, is for somebody to be able to recognize you. If you got numbers up, all they want is they want to recognize you, and it creates an urge for the individual who has less followers or whatever is going on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think that clout is just like, it's the new word for like popular, you know, and it doesn't take a lot to be popular really.
Yeah.
Nowadays. But I mean,
I agree with you on that.
but it's just because, like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much, but like a lot of people do it. That doesn't mean that it's more likely to happen. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't take as much for it to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know who I was talking to the other day, but I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about clout. And you know, I'm kind of older, so maybe I have a different definition for clout.
Yeah, that's been a word. Clout's been a word.
It's been a word. So you know what? I'm 37, so when I was y'all's age,
Yeah.
you know, we never used that word clout like that, right? But in my head, in my brain, the word clout, what that means is having a good reputation.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what the base is. That's what it was a couple years ago too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now the oversaturation of the term has like distorted the true meaning of it. You know, so it's just like clout is kind of a meaningless word, and it's just like, it's bullshit. It's just like bullshit popping in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got clout, like people, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna generalize people who have clout because everybody's different.
Yeah.
But like, and I know people who have clout or whatever who are like lit, but it's just a lot of people who have clout are fake as fuck. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. And then also, yeah, okay, so I do remember talking to the guest yesterday.
General Middington.
Yeah, Mr. General Middington's.
Yeah.
We were talking about clout and how we compared it. I don't know if it was with General Middington's or Young Pedro, 619. I think it was with Pedro. I was referring to the Scarface movie, and Tony Montana goes, you know, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women, right?
Seriously.
But you could substitute women with clout, because, you know, with clout, that's what you want to get anyways, women, right? So it's like, in the order of things, clout is the last thing you should, not you, but you in general, should ever worry about, because
100%, they got the whole order fucked up, man.
Yeah,
the whole order fucked up. All they want is clout.
Yeah,
but everybody, like, bro, like, so many people. There's like rappers too. Like, hella people have clout. No money, no bitches, no house, no like they don't have their life together. It might, and like most of the time, I don't know what their situation is. Maybe it might not be their fault. If it's not, then that's a different story. But like, most people prioritize the public, you know what I'm saying, their public appearance, and like their like how they're viewed to the public, rather than getting their shit straight and taking care of themselves. And like that makes it like how can you talk to somebody if you don't even know who you are? Like, what are you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be real with yourself. If you're just fake, you're just lying constantly.
Yeah, man. Constantly. So that's where we're gonna end it today. We're gonna end it as in people need to get the priorities right.
And spread love.